world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 216.
Woohoo!
We should do that every week. Do the woohoo.
We should.
That'd be great.
Let's say, yeah, I'll... Is it?
Is that not what you wanted to do?
I tried to put it. I tried to give you some applause.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I am
Better late
taking a bow. You already gave me applause.
Oh, did you hear it the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. Now I heard it. We're good.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. Yes, I am Rob. And
Hi,
joining
Rob.
me as always is Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Hi, Leo, little neighbor.
Hey, don't start that Ned Flanders bullshit. Don't even.
That's okay. You don't have the hair for Ned Flanders. Your hair is much nicer.
It's a lot thinner too. All right.
And you don't wear green sweaters.
Oh, I don't wear sweaters at all.
I mean, you live in Georgia.
I mean, I've lived in Michigan, but I mean,
but how long
I've had
ago?
like since 2004, 5, something like that. So it's been like 20 years, but
Yeah.
excuse me. But yeah, I've never been a sweater wearer. Like it's like if I'm cold, I'll throw another T-shirt on underneath my button-up or T-shirt that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Like if it's cold, I'll put on a jacket. Never been a sweater guy. Any sweaters that I did own, I got rid of when Bill Cosby got in trouble.
What? Like you never owned like a hoodie?
A hoodie?
A hoodie. Hoodies are
No.
like fantastic.
Nope. Zip up hoods, but never a hoodie.
Well, that's still a hoodie.
Yeah, I would never wear a pullover because it would mess my hair up when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And I just that kind of just carried with me throughout my whole life.
Yeah. I love a good zip up hoodie.
No, if I have to put a hoodie on, I'm not happy because that means it's cold outside. I do not like the cold. Do not like the humidity either, though.
Yeah.
Dude.
You gotta
Me-
pick one.
Move up north, but not all the way up north.
Uh-oh.
Find
Brandon.
some kind of middle ground.
Is that?
Yup.
Wait, who is that?
Who is who?
The guy in
Oh,
Brandon's photo. Is that Mike Mignola?
it sure as shit looks like him
Damn.
from the back. I mean, can't say that I've seen him from the back, but
Yeah, it's
kind
kinda
of looks
hard
like
to
him
tell.
in profile.
Yeah. So Brandon is not here with us today. He is at was it like an art
The
gallery?
Le Bon Museum, the Le Bon Gallery.
Okay, Le Bon Museum, where there is. I'm scrolling up to where he said what it was.
It's like a
the
premier art
of
gallery.
Mike Mignola.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
which-
a premier gallery in New York.
Yeah.
The fact that he's there is, I mean, that's got to be padding his ego quite a bit. It would pad mine.
Yeah. That is honestly fucking awesome. So he's away for one more week because this is like a last minute thing that his friend in New York wanted to bring him to. And very understandable because that's really like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So Brandon, have fun. Looks like you're having fun already. he'll be here next week, I hope, for Outsiders number 11, because DC's been pushing it back till he's back, because he needs to talk about Outsiders.
Definitely does.
But that's next week. This week is a whole bunch of other books, but I think we should a lot of um, I'll get the sad stuff out of the way first. Last week, I'll admit I did forget to mention it, but there was an article in the New York Times this week about it. um, sorry, hang on. Just want to get all my information right. Load, you stupid thing. Oh my god! Right. So, legendary comic book artist and well-loved X-Men and planetary artist John Cassaday passed away last week at the age of 52. Damn shame. Damn shame. Yeah, honestly one of the best artists ever, at least in my opinion. And I always said John Cassaday is in the top 3, if not the best X-Men artist of all time.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's very young.
Yeah.
I never, 20 years ago, I never would have said passing at 52 is young, but now that I'm 47, feels really young.
You know? It's kind of fucked.
Also, before I forget to mention it, I've got a bunch of scans and stuff that I need to do next week. I don't know if I'll be able to be here for the next week's show or not.
Oh, okay.
Just forewarning. Well,
fair enough.
There's a chance. I'll have to double check. I'll have to double check with Holly because numbers and shit. But
yeah.
I think I should be good.
Fair enough.
We'll just make double sure.
Yeah. All right. So with that, a new book has been announced by DC. We'll be spinning out of what's this new initiative called? DC All In.
Yeah.
And it's called Challengers of the Unknown. I'm stoked. If you don't know Challengers of the Unknown, not your fault. DC doesn't do much with them. They've popped up sporadically over the past 20, 30 years. But the, not OG team, but the secondary OG team, Ace Morgan, June Robbins, Professor Haley, Red Ryan, and Rocky Davis.
Dang it.
What?
No, I just wanted it to be the OG team.
I know. But it's most of the OG team. They are going to be working with the Justice League to seal rifts that threaten the galaxy, which is spinning out of some kind of dark side shockwave that is cascaded across the DC universe and tearing open the very fabric of time and space itself. So the Challengers are working with the Justice League to fix that. And a mysterious foe from the Challengers' past lurks in the shadows with a connection to the dark side wave. But joining them is the Trinity themselves, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And if you look up the article at AIPT.com or AIPTcomics.com, you can see that the Trinity have their own Challengers uniforms, which I think is freaking dope. It looks so cool. It's the iconic purple jumpsuit, and they have the hourglass logo on the shoulders, but they are still stylized to Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman's signature outfits. So Batman still has his cape and cowl, and he's got his utility belt. Superman has the S shield. Wonder Woman has the W bird logo, eagle chest plate or whatever. I don't know what the fuck is it. Is it a bird? Is it a W?
Is it a plane?
I've wanted to ask
that
for years. But didn't it in the
Wonder Woman
90s? It also had like a little beak, didn't it? Am I mistaken?
When they were trying to make her. Yes.
Yeah. I think in JLA, whatever. Shell's got her tiara. Um, but yeah, they look cool, and they're all going to be working together, and I can't wait to see it. That is brought to us. Let's see if I can just find the creative team here. Some of the promotional artwork is drawn by Mike Diodato, which I'll be honest, actually doesn't look that bad.
Uh, I was thinking the same thing, and then you know the thought that came across my mind?
What?
These pictures are kind of small.
All the one I'm looking at is fucking bigger than my screen right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
then.
still doesn't look that bad. Um, where the frick is the creative team? Here we go. So it's written by Christopher Cantwell with art by Sean Izagaki. Um, and it comes out December 18th. So we have that to look forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I love Challengers of the Unknown.
Challengers of the Unknown was a really cool book that I used to pick up every once in a while when I saw it in the store, and they were like in the dollar bin, and they were always a good fun read. And stemming out of that, this is non DC, but another small team of people from way back the year that I was born, starting out anyway. Uh, the title is actually, I think, like 4 months older than me, but they came from inner space from September, over the September, October, and November, I believe. We're going to get 3 different volumes of the Micronauts Omnibus.
Oh, hell yeah.
And if you haven't read any of those before, it is it is really, really cool.
Yeah, the
I,
Micronauts
I
are cool.
oh, have you read some Micronauts?
There's bits here and there.
I really enjoyed them, and when I was real young, I had old Mega Micronauts, so they were the Micronauts, but they were big.
That
they,
that doesn't that that doesn't sound right.
it's all there was, man.
They're Micronauts, but they're not micro.
Right.
They're just knots.
Well, that's what they are now.
Yeah.
And
Um,
3 volumes of Omnibus, and I am really thinking about checking those out.
I think you should. I really think you should. Shoot, sorry. Can I
It's
tell
one
you
of
something
those.
funny?
It's one of those titles that have hit Marvel, Image, and IDW,
Yeah.
like Transformers and properties like that. What were you gonna say? That's real
Um,
funny.
my introduction to Challengers of the Unknown. Can you guess what it was?
uh, I mean, by default, I want to say your dad.
I mean, he's the one that explained it to me, but it's not where I'm technically. But I mean, specifically the source material.
Hmm. I have no idea.
So it was technically because of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, you wanted to read a DC analog, did you?
Oh, I technically did. I read Amalgam Comics Challenges of the Fantastic. And I was a
There
big
you
Fantastic
go.
Four fan when I was a kid, which I still am. Um, and I read that because I was just like absorbing the Amalgam Comics. Like, this is so cool. My favorite heroes are being combined. This is awesome. And then I was like, wait, the Fantastic Four, who are they supposed to be with Dad? And then he explained the whole Challengers of the Unknown to me. I'm like, wow, that sounds pretty cool. And ever since then, I've been a Challengers fan. And I just think that's, of all the places to be introduced to Challengers of the Unknown, it's Amalgam Comics. Yeah, right?
Something just fell off my desk, but I have no idea what it was because it fell off the back of it.
Uh-oh.
It's all right. The dude says it's gonna be okay.
Oh, it's the dude that fell, I bet.
Nope, he's right here.
But you
He
have two of
reminds me everything is gonna be okay all the time.
them.
My kid made him a friendship bracelet. Isn't that
I was
awesome?
gonna say that's a cool bracelet. Oh man. Um. Yeah. So
I
there's
didn't have
that.
a rug, so he made him a friendship bracelet.
Excellent. And I just want to point out that I have been waiting for this book that showed up today for a very long time because I never got to read it, and I'm so happy. I wasn't even expecting to get the hardcover because I bought it from Thrift Books, and the picture was the soft cover, but here we are. It's the hardcover, Green Arrow Quiver.
Hell
It
yes.
is very much a used copy, but
Who
I ain't even
cares?
mad. I don't care because I
Who
have
cares?
not found this in any comic shop anywhere I've been to, and I've been pretty much all around Southern Ontario going to comic shops. I've never found this book, so I am just happy to have it.
Well, congratulations. I'm gonna open up Dick.
Okay, save that for the post show. That one's 18 plus.
I'm like, why does he want me to wait to open it? Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, we have already talked about the Challengers of the Unknown, and that was the one piece of news that I was aware of. Do you have any other news that you wanted to get into?
I got a new phone.
You got a new phone.
I got a new phone.
Nice.
I don't
What'd
know
you
what
get?
it is.
Don't. It's not an iPhone though, right?
No, hell no. Come
Okay.
on. Give me some
I
credit.
thank you.
Don't offend me, good sir.
I wanted to stay being friends with you.
Yes, but look. Ready for this? Ready? Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Got the Galaxy Z Flip.
Hell yeah. How's it going? You like it?
Oh, I love it. Showed up Tuesday. Got a case yesterday. I love it. I don't know if
That's
you can
awesome.
see. I put my wallpaper up already. This cover's not even out yet. It's the DC All In for Green Lantern.
Hell yeah. Hell
No,
yeah.
it's a hella good phone.
Yeah,
I sorely
it's
need to
actually
upgrade.
it's what Liam wants.
Yeah.
He wants one of those, and I had to reluctantly get one of these.
A green bracelet,
It's a
smartwatch.
one of the Galaxy watches.
Oh, okay, right on.
Um, I've got an S24. I never wanted a smartwatch. I still don't want a smartwatch, but my pulmonologist yelled at me in front of my wife for not having something that continuously monitor my blood oxygen and my heart rate. So I've got this, and it's pretty cool. It monitors my sleep. It checks me for sleep apnea. It records all of my sleep cycles, continuously monitors my heart rate, my blood oxygen levels, and it even has an ECG heart monitor built into it. So
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
it's pretty badass. This one has a fall monitor, so if I fall, it automatically shoots out a text to Holly and my two kids, and that are here. And then if I don't turn the siren off after I think it's 1 minute, it will automatically dial 911.
That's awesome.
I'm like, holy shit. All right, fine, whatever. I still don't like it.
Yeah,
You gotta. I like,
it's
you know. I mean, I
unnecessary,
feel the biggest problem, the biggest complaint that I have about it, because I mean, it's a nice looking watch. The reason why I don't wear watches is because I spent so long doing maintenance work, building engineer shit, and I cannot tell you how many watch faces I have smashed to pieces
Oh yeah.
just doing work like that. So I've just always hated wearing a watch just because I know I'm going to break it.
Yeah, I
This
was the
one, my
same
problem
way.
is, this is got like freaking bulletproof glass on it, just
Yeah,
about. But in order for it to work right, it has to be clamped onto your arm.
yeah.
It's so tight, it's uncomfortable.
You can
But
loosen it a little bit, but like, because I've got one from Huawei, and it functions pretty well with it a little loose.
oh, okay, I'll
But
believe
if you
you.
keep it
I'm gonna
on,
loosen it up right now.
if you keep it on a lot, what kind of strap does it have? Is it leather or like a rubber?
It's rubber.
Okay, be careful of rash because I've got a wrist rash. Um, Mine is like cotton rubber blend or some shit like that.
Okay.
Uh, Plus, if you're wearing it a lot and you sweat a lot, wash your wrist daily. Clean off that watch. Take it from me. Trust
Get a
me
little
here. It's a
get a little
good
funky,
idea.
does it?
Oh God, does it ever? First time I noticed the smell, I was like, "Fuck is that?" I was just sitting watching TV and like I smell something. My kid's not here. She definitely didn't poo her pants because she's not even in the house. What the hell am I smelling? It took me all day to
It's,
realize it was my fucking watch.
it's your fucking watch.
It was
This
disgusting.
one,
I
I
didn't realize how much sweat it like builds up. And I get graphic content, people. It's disgusting. I know, very unhygienic. I didn't understand how much it would build up. I didn't realize. I didn't get that. I didn't even think it wasn't even didn't even cross my fucking mind. But I learned my lesson, and like I don't even wear it all the time now. I come home from work, I take it off. But I get you need to have it on a lot,
yeah, I
like
have to
not
have it on a
constantly.
lot. It is really helpful monitoring my oxygen and my heart while I'm sleeping. So I have to have it on all then. So usually about a couple hours after I wake up, I have to take it off and charge it. But the thing about washing this thing is, um, I can wear it literally anywhere. I think it'll survive 20 meters underwater. I think it's
Yeah,
20 meters.
yeah,
But all I got to do is hit this freaking button right there,
yeah.
and it turns on a water lock.
That's cool. My
So
watch just
it's
has a drain feature.
yeah. So it doesn't let the um, yeah. And this is that's me turning off the water lock, and it you can hear it go. Tss.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I don't. Is there like a little miniature ass air compressor in there? I don't know, but
Just repressurizing.
maybe that's what it is. But you hear this little piece of noise. I'm like, well, it makes me feel good that it's that I don't have to worry about getting it wet,
Yeah,
and it makes me feel good that it's designed to survive a fall. So
that's good.
that's where I'm
And
at with it.
it's like heavily customizable from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the ones I wanted to get, but Hawaii was a lot more accessible and cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a Verizon customer for like 10 years now.
Oh, I'm sorry to
So
hear
if,
that.
actually, um,
No, I hear
I've had
Verizon's not bad.
no. I mean, I've heard horror stories. I've heard loads and loads and loads of horror stories. I think that my experience has been pretty lucky.
Yeah.
The only issues that I've had with Verizon have been with third party things that Verizon offers, but Verizon products themselves never had any issues. So I'm paying $12 a month for this, and I didn't have to get a new line. I just attached it to mine. It's
Okay.
pretty sick.
Excuse me. Not bad. You
No,
should
not
look
bad at
at
all.
customizable watch faces.
Oh, I already have
I bet.
been.
So, how's your dick?
So far, not too shabby. Still wrapped in plastic. Ain't getting nobody pregnant. But
Oh, for those wondering, not watching the live stream and listening to the audio, we're talking about his Dick Grayson action figure. his his Batman and Robin, Grant Morrison Batman showed up from McFarlane,
Yes.
and it looks awesome as
It
he
truly does, but
struggles
oh
to pick
my
it out of the
god.
treasure. Yeah,
This
the straps are bloody annoying.
fucking ridiculous. I mean, there's so many on here.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, you can tell I'm tired. It's got a wire cape too, right?
It sure does. I'm keeping myself muted because unpacking this shit is loud. But
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
um, you know what? I think now might be a perfect time to take a commercial break.
well, while Josh unwraps his deck, yes, we can
I
take a
will.
commercial break.
Yes, indeed, we will do that. John's Janky, Wonder Wounds, Soup slips, Selina saves, and Eclipso emerges. All when we are back.
It's quite good alliteration you had there.
Hold on. All right, we are back.
Give me some
And
warning. I was stacking.
we're back, and I'm back with a little bit of deck. Got a little deck here.
Oh my
Let my
god.
deck.
It's a lovely deck you have there.
Very pretty deck.
I like the wow. I like the belt buckle.
Oh, the
I've always
belt
admired the
buckle
belt
is
buckle.
super dope, man.
Yeah.
Really is. I like that it's flexible, like it'll move with the hips.
Yeah.
I've got a couple that don't exactly do that. Two extra pairs of hands,
Gotta have those
and
hands.
I understand that this is Dick Bats, but it's amazing looking Batman. Um, I wanted this to build for a storyline collection, as I am prone to do. But I got this in, and my youngest uh, was like, "Oh, that's so cool! Can I have your old Batman?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You wanted my old Batman?" He's like, "Yeah, but you needed a Batman." It's like, "If you've got a Batman, can I have that one?" I'm like, "Well, I've got two of them. I've got Jace, the new Batman, and the next Batman, and I've got Batman from Batman Rebirth." And he says, "I want that one." Naturally, it was Batman Rebirth.
The best
But
costume.
so he's the new proud owner of my Batman Rebirth. But I'm okay with that.
He's got excellent taste.
Indeed, he does.
Okay. Once you've got the hang of it, we need to have a cape off.
Okay, I'll have to I'll have to work on that. I only have. Oh, that works out. Both Dick and Tim have wired capes.
Well, I've only got one customized like wired cape. Golden Age.
Ah, Golden Age Batman. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I forgot you had that.
That's honestly One of my favorite figures in my collection.
Which says a lot for someone who's like the world's biggest Green Lantern fan.
I know, right? Like I look at all my Lantern figs and they're awesome, but this one is just so unique.
And there's
There's
something about
something
the
about it.
there's something about these wired capes that just I freaking love it. And you know
Yeah,
what?
they're
I
fantastic.
bet you that McFarlane loves it too because these wire capes have to be way cheaper to produce than the molded ones. But
Oh
I'm
yeah,
cool.
I imagine.
Hell, I am cool with it. I have no complaints.
Yeah,
I have no complaints at all.
they look so much nicer than the plastic capes, the rubber capes, or whatever they. They look more realistic.
Yeah, they can pose and be more realistic in their angles and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm pretty into.
Here is his first pose.
I'll just leave my dick sitting
Detective
out there.
27.
Oh, I can't rattle off the damn issue that Dick Bats first showed up in.
Well, I mean, this was like his first appearance.
Yes, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, this one is easy. I think Dick Bat's first appearance, if it wasn't Battle for the Cowl #3, it might just be Batman and Robin
I can't remember.
#1.
Can't remember which.
I don't think there was anything else.
Ooh, I don't know what you're getting into, but it
Sorry.
is loud as hell.
All right, read your paper.
Oh, he's snacking again,
I
peoples.
told you I was snacking.
All right, well, before we went on commercial break, I promised y'all that we'd get into some comic books, and before we get into our full reviews, let me break down a gigantic list of honorable mentions this week. Thanks, Batman Day. All right, first, well, let's start off with the bad news because everybody chooses bad news first. Jenny Sparks #2. I can't say anything else about this book except that I hate it, and I mean with a passion. That's because King turned Captain Atom into an arrogant, evil wannabe Dr. Manhattan. Like, quite literally, he just wants to be a god, thinks he deserves it, and the rest of the book revolves around that. It even brings down Jenny Sparks as a character considerably. I think this is beyond stupid. I can barely even consider the art. I feel like he shits all over the characters he writes. He sucks and he knows it, and great art can't save it. Nothing redeemable. 2 out of 10. John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America, #9. Just for the record, peoples, from here on out, the rest is good news. Dead in America #9. This is the grimiest magic-based noir book that I have ever read, and it is absolutely great. A whole lot goes sideways, and Constantine is getting a bit closer to the end here, and the art it fits the book so well, and also, this is like the weirdest comment I've ever made on a comic book. But Aaron Campbell drew a dress on Clarice that might be the prettiest piece of clothing that I have ever seen on a comic book character. You'll have to check that out if you have. Well, no, I know you're not reading a John Constantine book. What am I talking about? But anyway, that one got an 8.25 out of 10. Next up is Dark Knights of Steel All Winter #3. I did not expect to go into this liking it more than the original. I'm not quite there yet, but I am getting damn close. And the art with the occasional explosive use of color in this book, it just makes even the story gorgeous. I really like it. 8 out of 10. Next up, a book that had me with some conflicted feelings. Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween #1. Feelings conflicted no longer. Catwoman, Gilda, Two-Face, Calendar Man, Jim Gordon, Batman, and Robin. It all picks up where the last installment left off. This was a really fun read for me. I thought it odd at first that The Long Halloween was being expanded upon after Sale was gone. But now, Give me the next 9 issues. Gave it a 7.75 out of 10. Multiverse Collision Detection #1. Multiverses, excuse me. Collision Detection #1. The only thing that I knew to expect from this one is that it's a video game tie-in. What I didn't expect was it to be so fun to read. My 8-year-old read it and he loved it. He gives it a 4 out of 5 because he won't judge on a 1 to 10 no matter how many times I ask. So I'm going to put that just factoring up. It's an 8 out of 10. Joker the World. With an all-star cast of writers, artists, colorists, and letterers going in, you have to know that at least some of this has got to be good, right? Well, it's a whole bunch of non-connected Joker stories. Some art is great, some art is fantastic, and some I'm not a fan of, but even those fit the story that they are in like a chef's kiss. I don't understand it quite because normally I wouldn't like a book like this at all, but Joker the World was really good. There's it's very short stories, but they are very short stories that show all different kind of personality traits from the Joker and all different kinds of ways that different readers may see the Joker, and I enjoyed it. And it is a large book, which means it's going to be going for more than the average price. The good news is that if you can get down to your local comic book shop, you should still be able to find the free the free Batman Day Special Edition, which gives you an intro to all of the stories that are inside the actual book. So you get to pick it and find out whether or not you like it. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, which is absolutely insane for me to grade an anthology book. All right, and Batman. It's a Batman Elmer Fudd special #1. Man, have you had a chance to read this one, Rob?
And back in what was it, 2017 when it first came out. So
Well,
I haven't read it again.
This
recently.
one, this was way better story than it deserved to be. Way better. I really enjoyed it. We did not need the backup that was in it like at all.
Oh, there's a backup. What's the
Yeah.
backup?
It's still a blend of Looney Tunes and DC. However,
Yeah.
the first part of the book, the main part of the book, is very DC-esque, whereas the backup is very Looney Tune-esque.
Okay.
And like I said, way better than it should have been. I really, really enjoyed it. Backup was quick, read, and fun. I was very pleasantly surprised. I did not know what to expect going into Batman Elmer Fudd, just with my fingers crossed that I wasn't going to get the Detective Comics version of Space Jam. They didn't let me down. And on top of that, there was an Batman Elmer Fudd special noir edition that was released as well. No difference from the issue that I just mentioned, except it's completely in black and white. And I looked at the colored version and read the colored version before I read the noir version. The noir version is I like the noir version looks even better than the colored version.
Really?
Something about the way the lines and the shadows are done that just make it so good. And it's a really dark story. So
It is, yeah.
is this a reprint?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I did not read that from what was it, 2017?
Yeah, they did a whole bunch of I mean they first did like Looney Tunes crossover books,
Uh-huh.
and then they did like Hanna-Barbera crossover books. Uh
So the one that you read was about Elmer Fudd
Meeting
versus Batman over
Yes.
over Silver St. Cloud?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I did not read it, and this was awesome. If you haven't
Yeah.
checked it out, you definitely should. And that's it, except for there was a whole slew of facsimile editions for Crisis on Infinite Earth 6, Detective 27, There's a bunch of variant covers, artist mock-up covers, foils, etc. So go check out those as well if they're your deal. And that's all the honorables worth mentioning.
Yeah. I just before we move on, I want to say like I read a few of the Looney Tunes DC like crossover books.
Hmm.
The Batman Elmer Fudd one was by far the best. And I'm happy to hear that it still holds up today. It honestly was like a runaway hit. It was so fucking good. Now, I want to know, do you know who wrote that?
Not off the top of my head.
But did you look at the creative team?
No, it's an honorable mention. I don't usually look at that until I write things up.
Oh shit. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and look at
Let's
that creative team and let me know what you think?
read. Let's see here. Darren Bennett, letterer, Laverne Kinzerski as a colorist, Lee Weeks for artist, interior and cover, and Felipe Giuseppe for writing.
What the fuck? No.
I fucked with you. It is Tom King, and it is done really well.
Yeah. And not only that, it's a
I
Batman
had
story
to.
written by Tom King that is
I had to
actually
go-
really good.
I had to go fucking pull up the credits because I wanted to say it backwards just so I could do the writer last, and I didn't remember anybody else.
So you did remember the creative team?
Um, I didn't know anybody other than Tom King and Lee Weeks. You can
Yeah.
look right at this book and go, "Oh, that is Lee Weeks."
Yeah. But yeah, like I'm not even just doing this like saying that because how much of a decrier of Tom King you are, but also just like his Batman run is very polarizing.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
ruined. That's where I fell off of him and realized what he was doing. But this makes me want to know. And this is no shit, you know. I mean, this isn't just for me saying get him off of DC at any cost. I want to see Tom King write a 12-issue Dick Tracy series.
Well, that'd be cool.
That would be more than cool. If he could pull it off and into something like what he's got here in Batman Elmer Fudd, it'd be the best goddamn Dick Tracy book ever written.
Yeah. And now
It really
you,
would.
you see this and you say that, and then you look at his other books and you start to wonder he's just really good at writing noir mysteries. That's his forte. And
But
every
see, there's the
book
thing:
he
Rorschach
does
and Human
is
Target.
noir mystery. But the thing is, those characters don't fit a noir mystery. That's the problem.
Rorschach doesn't fit a noir mystery. Human Target
Rorschach
doesn't fit a
does.
noir. Okay,
But
so you're right.
he-
No, Human
he-
Target does not fit noir.
He fucked up
At all. You're
with
right.
Rorschach because the ending was kind of dumb.
Yeah. Yep.
He fell apart at the end. I'll admit the build up for Rorschach was fantastic. I really loved the build up, but by the end, it just fell apart. Russ, call you Russ.
I got
Hiya.
I got 3 issues in
Yeah,
to Rorschach, and that's when I was like, oh god damn it, because I really thought I was looking at his redemption for me. Really thought. I'm like, oh, all right.
yeah,
And then he let me down again.
yeah. I still have to like go back and read some of the stuff now that it's been collected because remember I had that theory and I still haven't like completely gone into it of reading Tom King in his 12 issue minis reads better in a collected edition as it does month by month.
If that's the case, shouldn't you just be writing graphic novels?
Well, I think that's what he's ultimately doing, but DC is like, no, 12 issue mini. I don't think it's his choice. I think that's just what DC's publishing it as, right? because when it comes out as a collected edition, it looks very graphic novel esque. It doesn't look like, I would say that's most of DC books these days, but it doesn't look like your typical collected edition from DC. It is stylized as its own graphic novel because I think it's meant to be read that way, and it reads so much better as a graphic novel. That's what I got out of Rorschach. That's where I got this theory because I binged the first 6, 7 issues and I was hooked. But then the last like 5 or 6 issues, I read month to month, and I fell off. And that could just be the story was wasting away at the end, or my theory holds some weight. We'll have to see.
I didn't hate Tom King. I didn't hate Tom King's writing style until like 15 issues into Batman.
Oh, it took
And
me
then
a
after
lot longer than that.
what's that?
It took me a lot longer than that to dislike his Batman.
It took everybody a lot longer than that to dislike his run. It really did, and I'm like, wow, this fucker fell apart fast. And then I watched him on Supergirl, which I understand is completely like critically acclaimed and super popular with everybody, but it's honestly it's a really shitty story.
Did you finish it, or
Oh
did
yeah,
you?
of course.
Oh, okay.
I
still only
finished
read the first
everything. Ugh.
That's what I
You
want.
said
to
you
go back.
haven't even read the first issue?
No, I've only read the
Oh.
first issue.
Well, read it, damn it. Don't make
Yeah.
me sit here literally being the only person on earth that didn't like that book.
I have a feeling when I finish it, you will still be the only person on earth that did not like that book.
But there's a chance still.
And there is a chance. So, would you rather I don't read it? You still have that golden opportunity.
No.
You,
No.
you want the
No.
decision.
I
to be
don't
the
like
rest.
I don't yes, exactly.
Okay,
I don't
fair
like
enough.
things being hung out in the air.
Fair enough.
I need to know.
But I will still always. Oh shit! That's a team
Nice.
I should have said when Brandon was asking, or was it you that asked
Me
the
about
question
the Omega
earlier.
Man?
Well, no, just no. When did you say no? But you're asking about a team.
To
That-
bring back.
Yeah, I should have said Omega Man.
That's what I just
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That didn't cross my mind until just now either.
Yeah.
And I mean, Omega Man, that was not bad.
yeah.
That was not bad at all. His Mr. Miracle was flat out depressing.
Yes,
I mean,
but
it was
early in his DC, and
it
like
was
it was
hard
wild.
to read
Yeah,
because it was just you.
it was
Okay,
mindfuck.
how do I explain this? It was a good read, but it was hard to get through.
Yeah, it's but not in a bad way. It's just like you gotta read it a couple times to try and understand what the fuck happened
Yeah,
because it's a mind fuck.
and it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot,
And
and it's
it's
very
heavy.
depressing.
and you get to the
So
end,
fucking
and
depressing.
he's been promising for years that there's going to be a sequel
Mm-hmm.
because they kind of left it kind of on a cliffhanger. Yeah.
As far as I know, it's not happening.
As far as I know, he hasn't said anything that is not, but he's been saying for years that he's working on it. But
I
he keeps getting more and more projects. So like
Right.
he was supposed to be making another Vision book, a sequel to Mr. Miracle. But yeah,
I think
guess
his
just-
biggest thing, unfortunately, is they're turning Supergirl into a movie, if I understand that correctly, and
Yeah.
he's also been tapped as the pen for a New Gods movie, and also he's helping write the Green Lantern TV show.
Yeah.
In addition to comic books. But I mean, like I said, I just think he fell off. Rorschach sucked to me. Strange Adventures was absolute garbage. I couldn't enjoy. I just couldn't get around Supergirl. But Batman Elmer Fudd,
Yeah.
that was good.
What they
And
say, a
and it,
diamond in the rough.
I mean, Diamond from the past. Let's just put it that way. You know, whatever happened to him between issues number 15 and 16 of his Batman run, I don't know what it was. If somebody kicked his puppy, painted his barn a different color, I don't know. Somebody devil egged his car. I'm not sure what happened,
Yeah.
but it was all downhill from
But
there.
what was the deciding factor? Like, what was the story arc going on that you're just like, this is garbage? Because
That
I
would
know
have
why
to.
everybody else was still into it, and I can tell you exactly when it was everybody else fell off.
Okay. Well, that would require me being able to remember issue by issue. I
Even just
couldn't.
the story arc. I
I
remember
could.
the first two story arcs, and that's about it.
I can't tell you the year that it came out right now.
There.
But I could look it up and for sure share it with you after the show.
Yeah. Sorry,
All
Russell's
right.
calling out my LA Night shirt. Now, I can tell you that for most people, and myself included here, we were taken by the whole plot of Batman and Catwoman being together and Tom King pushing that envelope and pushing it hard and then teasing the whole wedding and getting to the wedding issue and then no, it doesn't fucking happen. It was the biggest cock tease in DC history and everybody hated it from that point on. That's what let everybody down because we were all just like, are they actually doing this? Are we getting like a major development in comics that's going to actually change things for the foreseeable future? And no shit, they're just going back to status quo. You motherfuckers! And
Yeah.
if I remember right, I think that was an editorial choice. I think Tom King actually did want to follow through with it.
Let me talk to you.
I think editorial said no. So that's what happened with most people. That's when they fell off of Tom King. And then I Am Bane happened and it all went downhill from there.
I Am Bane was absolute trash.
You know what's funny just now? You were showing off your Dick Grayson card and it was blurred out. Well, I'm just thinking like your dick was censored.
Oh my god, my dick was censored.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't think I've been a part of so many dick jokes in the course of an hour and since I was a fucking teenager.
Today, forget to mention I'm Canadian. Dick jokes are abound up here.
Perfect.
Yep.
Wait, is Russell responding to us every time we say yeah? Yeah. I like Russell.
Yeah. He's we went to SmackDown. Yeah. When Edge had his last show and we both got LA Knight shirts. And back then he wasn't fully watching WWE, but he was wearing his LA Knight shirt. And as we were walking back to the bus to go back home, every so often somebody would pass by and just go, yeah, and it bugged the crap out of him. He's like, why is everybody doing this? This is annoying.
He's a phenomenon.
If I remember
He
right,
is
Brady, I
the
think you wanted to take
megastar.
off the shirt at that. But now, wear it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night
Well,
he's facing Andrade for the U.S. Championship.
it's gonna be
Well, he's defending it
good.
against Andrade.
Yeah. It's gonna be a hell of a show, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hell of a show.
It's going to be a damn good show.
Mhm.
So we got that. We got
Yeah.
Nia Jax and Tiffany time versus Naomi and oh my god, Bailey. Loser leaves SmackDown for good, supposedly.
Mhm.
And there's another match, and I can't remember what the hell it was, but it also sounded really fucking good.
I think, honestly, I think what's gonna happen is Bailey's gonna move to Raw.
Oh, so here's the thing. Here's where the stipulation was kind of weird, because I was talking to a coworker about it, and he had
Mm-hmm.
a different understanding than I did. Because when Naya said that, she said "loser leaves SmackDown." I thought it meant the team, the losing team. So, like, if Bailey gets pinned, both her and Naomi would have to leave. But my coworker was saying it's just the person that takes the pin has to
That's
leave.
that's how I took it. I want to say it was the way that she phrased that.
Yeah,
And I can't remember. Of course, I can't remember exactly. I can't remember what she said exactly. But I want something about the way that she phrased it um, made me think that whoever took the pin took had to leave.
yeah,
And I think that there's too many big people on SmackDown right now
yeah.
in the women's division. And I think
So
that they desperately need some help over on Raw. And Naya is not going to be the one to bring it. Tiffany is an amazing talent in the ring. One of the best I've seen shoot out of NXT right out of the gate. But she ain't going to go anywhere because she's not at the point where she can amp up and bump up the women's division. Really, the only one that has that ability that could have fans follow her is Bailey.
well, here's the well. First off, I'll rebuttal you saying I think the women's division on Raw is actually pretty stacked itself. If you just look at Monday night alone, this past Monday night, the women's division was just killer, in my opinion. Um, like Io Sky and Bianca Belair put on it damn near a clinic of just fucking awesome moves. Um,
Wait, do I have the rosters backwards?
you might.
Ain't isn't Jade Cargill on SmackDown?
Well, Bianca and Jade, because they're the tag team champions, so they're all over the place.
Yeah,
I think they are.
they're SmackDown
Oh,
talent.
maybe they are like officially drafted to SmackDown. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
you're
they
right.
are
Yeah,
SmackDown talent.
yeah. But like, so maybe Raw does need a bit of help.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, who else is there? You got the new something collective, but stupid ass name. I don't remember.
PF Chang's.
New, yeah,
That's what everybody on Reddit's calling them, PF Chang. You're talking about the
Pro
Pure
Pure
Fusion
Fusion
Collective.
Collective.
Yes,
That's stupid.
with Shannon Baszler, who
Shayna.
that
Shayna
oh,
Baszler.
sorry, Shayna Baszler, who is yep, Russell. They definitely can do all of the shows,
Yeah,
only if they have the
it's
title.
just those team, just those belt holders. Deep balls. Yeah.
The D Balls crew, the D Balls E.
Like Shayna Baszler can hold her own.
Shayna Baszler is hard to
She
look at, no offense,
she's
but
just well she's an MMA fighter.
she's well. I mean,
she's
that's
she's
nothing to do
scary.
with it. It's Shayna Baszler waited too long. She got in. She does talk like Naruto,
She is a big anime fan. So.
but she waited too long to come out on top. She got there and she had to be a beta to Ronda Rousey, which was absolutely a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And she just sat there and was her background piece. And Baszler is never going to be able to make that ground up, unfortunately.
Unless they
She's
give her like a solid singles run, but they keep putting her in tag teams.
and that's because she can't. She doesn't have the mic skills to carry being the top dog.
I think she could carry it a lot better than Ricochet could. I'll give her that. Like, I think she can. She just needs to be given a few more pointers and given a better chance because she's not really given many chances.
When she does, all it is the same thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you sound like a high school bully.
Oh, I mean that's her character.
Maybe we need a
She,
different
yeah,
character.
she needs a singles run, a solo run, but like change it up a little bit, make her a little more interesting. Um, Zoe Stark is Shayna Baszler 2.0 and not
A heel
super
Naruto.
interesting. Zoe Stark was more interesting
In
being
NXT.
with Trish Stratus. She was the most interesting part of that duo.
No, I see
And
Zoe
I love Trish
Stark.
Stratus, but like that Trish Redux was not
No,
great.
I see Zoe Stark making the exact same mistake that Baszler made. And they are both now, unfortunately, being put under the fucking creative hood of Sonya Deville, who is, in my personal opinion, way too egotistical to be allowed into that ring. You don't go from creative to putting yourself in matches and shit. I mean, I'm sorry, but are you Mrs. Vince Russo?
But she's not creative.
She used to be. She used to work behind the scenes before she got in front of the cameras.
When?
Uncredited writer. Which, oh, I just read an article just a couple days ago. WWE is now going to be officially acknowledging the individual writers for all promos going forward.
Oh, good.
Isn't that fucking amazing?
Yeah.
That blows my mind, dude. That kind of shit just doesn't happen. That's really super cool. But before we take up any more time talking about wrestling, because I swear we need to do a podcast just about that. Trish should have pushed her to the moon, but I
Yeah.
think after credits on last SmackDown, yeah, and I think I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
I
It was all gone.
just want to like just say one thing. I think you might have her confused with somebody else because I don't think she was ever a writer for WWE. Because I know she's been a wrestler even long before she was in WWE. She was an MMA fighter too. Like
I mean, maybe I do have it wrong. I don't know. I don't like her. I think she's probably out of the three the least talented. But she's always going to be pushed to the front for some reason. She's a golden child in WWE.
I liked her early stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, like
look.
she was the general manager of Raw for a while. I think it was.
Ah, yes. Russell with the win.
She's much better as a wrestler though than she was the GM.
I would imagine so. Her mic skills aren't the greatest. Well, I mean, again, the PFC, PF Changs,
Rock's daughter. I gotta watch some of Rock's daughter's
NXT.
promos.
The Rock's daughter is just not good on the mic, man. At least she wasn't last time I saw. I hope that she has made some improvements. But before they do force us to move into a wrestling podcast, we
Yes.
should probably move on and talk about some other kinds of
Yeah, like
power.
the stuff we're here for. All right, so yeah, it's we've been going for an hour now. Let's get into some comics, and we'll start off with the fuck's this one called? Absolute Power Super Sun #1 of one because it's a one shot. This is written by Cena Grace and Nicole Maines with art from John Timms and Travis Mercer with colors from Hi-Fi, Adriano Lucas, Pete Pantazis, and Rex Locus, and letters from Dave Sharp with a cool cover from John Timms. Russell, it's all your fault. You got me started. You got me started tonight.
Said that's because Bray wore a wrestling shirt, not a comic shirt. Dress for the job you want, not the job you want. Dress for the job you have, not the job you want.
I mean,
All right, Russell's gonna have to get on a show and have us do a wrestling
I,
episode.
I can get my Green Lantern shirt if you want.
It's
I can make this happen. He's always complaining how I don't have time for him in video games. Well, now you can make time for me in podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolute power, super son, number one. They
When
broke the
okay,
couple up.
is this another situation just like last night where you were convinced that I was the one that told you to buy New Gundam Breaker and I didn't?
You
I don't
talking to me?
remember you ever talking about a wrestling podcast. Not Russell. Okay, I need to review a book now. I'll be right back. So, wow. Next time we play Gundam Breaker 4, I want you to say that. Okay, so we open up on Themyscira where John Kent is texting Jay, but is interrupted
Nakamura.
by, which I thought was EO, but John calls her Low. And I feel like that's just an editorial thing. But I could be mistaken as not EO. Maybe it's always Low. I don't know. That name was always
No,
kind of
I've
confusing.
always pronounced it Io. So,
IO. Well, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, with an I, regardless, not Low, which John calls her. But I'm already a wrestling mark. Okay, I'm not looking at the chat anymore. Right, so they need to perform more tests on John to make sure that the Brainiac Queen's infection is completely gone. John is convinced that Batman was able to get everything out, but they just want to confirm things. So they put him under to scan his body, and he begins to have dreams of Dreamer and Robin and a limousine and moving to San Francisco and all sorts of stuff. Meanwhile, outside the limo, there's glimpses and images of him fighting various people, but it's actually cyborg version of him, cyborg Superboy. Then we get a flashback.
John Henshaw.
I see what you did there. Oh god, I I wonder how Glenn would feel about that.
Oh, he's probably shaking his fist at me right now.
Right, so then we do some flashbacks of John when he was controlled by Brainiac Queen, of him taking out various heroes, including Huntress, who he's able to capture and bring back to Gamora. You're damn right I am. Uh, and then he's able to wake up after seeing a few more glimpses of him taking out a bunch more heroes. And he wakes up, screams, "That's enough," and storms out. Um, Later on, he comes across, excuse me, the drummer boy, who is doing some technically activism, but in the worst way possible. Um, and stops the drummer boy, but is then found by his parents, who are flying towards him, but are seeming to be controlled by Brainiac Queen. And then the Brainiac Queen attacks him, and then he wakes up again, and he was still under on the table. He had not actually woken up in the first place, but he's still having the dreams in his subconscious. Nayanal is there, Dreamer, is within this said dream. And is able to pull him away from the Brainiac Queen, who is trying to re-influence John. And this is a little subroutine program that she had very deep inside his psyche, that if she was ever pulled out, she would be able to reinfect him. And the dream version of Dreamer is trying to save him. Um, but John is realizing that all the people that are there are just not quite real, because Alfred is there. Alfred is dead. Nobody's talking like themselves, and everything feels weird. He does wake up in actual Themyscira, and is texting Jay one more time. Jay has finally arrived on Themyscira, but still inside his psyche, Brainiac Queen is fighting against him and taking over his mind again. Dreamer is doing what she can to fight and is able to get through to John that it's his world, his mind, his dream, and he is in control. And with his own willpower, he's able to brush off Brainiac Queen and send her far, far away. Finally, Superboy or Superman John and Dreamer have a little discussion on a rooftop. This is still inside his mind, and Dreamer in the real world is actually dead. So this will be the last conversation they have, and John is not happy about it. It's a lot harder for him than he ever thought possible. He finally wakes up and meets Jay and lets him know that things are really hard for him and also that Dreamer is dead. And Jay just responds coldly with good because it's Dreamer's fault that his mom is dead and they have a big fucking fight over it. Dreamer is one of John's closest friends, um, and Jay is very anti Dreamer right now. But by the end of it, they have to part ways one more time as Nightwing is calling all the heroes together to take one last swoop at the hell's her name? Amanda Waller and
Amanda Waller.
Laura. Um, and at the end, Jay calls back to John and says that they are still on this path together. So they are not splitting up at the time being. And that is the end of the issue. To be continued, Absolute Power number 4, I believe in October. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little interested in the idea that John and Jay would be breaking up. Not that I don't like Jay, I just thought that would be an interesting change of pace for John Kent's life and a new development, right?
I think the development isn't going to be them breaking up. I feel like something tragic may be happening to Jay, which may further cement John's desire to move to San Francisco.
Yeah,
And then we're going to have Superman West.
that'd be cool. I wouldn't want it to be another death because we figure he's lost Dreamer. Dreamer's dead.
I don't. We don't know, like, if she's permanently dead, though. I mean,
Yeah,
she's kind of like
it's
hanging out in the.
somehow well, it's in his mind. I think that was just like his own version of his mental version of Dreamer. If that I don't think was actually Dreamer, but I'm not convinced Dreamer is dead either. But for the time being, he is under the impression that Dreamer is dead. Jay could have broken up with him, so we'd lose Jay. He was taken control of by Brainiac Queen and completely under the influence, turned half into a robot, and his life just ripped from him. And that's all in the past month, right?
Right.
And that's not even on top of the trauma he grew up with by spending what 3 years in a volcano prison on Earth 3, spending his entire teenage years away from his parents.
Yeah. How'd you like that for a grandpa?
Right? So like, I get that trauma was mostly resolved, and he's come to terms with it, but it it's still gonna weigh, right? And I feel like adding that extra bit of Jay and John, like Jay was basically the person that brought John out of his skin, and when he'd first come back from Earth 3 and try to find his place in the world again and reinsert himself, reintroduce himself to everybody, Jay was that one person he could turn to. That was kind of just like outside of that world, that he could just talk to and be open with, and it helped. And if he loses that, that is just another grievance in John's life. Not necessarily death, because I feel like that might just be a little too heavy. Just like a different kind of grief that he has to deal with, right? That'd be 3 different types of grief and stress that he has to deal with. And that would be a lot for a 17, 18-year-old, especially being a global superhero as he is. And that would, in my opinion, give a new struggle and a new defining trait for John Kent and be a new chapter for his life. I think it'd be interesting if they pushed that envelope, maybe push the story a little bit, but I think they're planting the seeds, and I'm not against it. But that's just that one side story.
Fair enough.
As for the rest of it, like this whole issue was interesting to see John Kent's whole perspective of what he was doing as
Hmm.
cyborg John Kent. Um, I like John Henshaw. That's a really good way to put it. As John
John
Henshaw.
Henshaw.
Um,
Oh, there you go.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in.
John Henshaw.
I know Brady claps too. I know you clapped, Brady. Don't lie.
Why is Russell calling you Bray?
That's what we call each other.
Call each other Bray?
Yeah,
All right, Bray.
yeah. His name is Brady, and I think we just called each other Bray because we didn't want to say bro.
Okay, Bray.
I can't remember
Brah?
what it was.
Bruh? What's Toronto man say?
Bruh,
Bruh.
bruh.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a word if you can't spell it. Oh,
That's
right.
BRUH.
That's bruh.
Suck it, bruh.
Bruv makes more sense to me. Well, as far as absolute power Super Sun goes, I think it was something, man. It looks freaking amazing for starters. It does set up a little bit. Obviously, we aren't done with Dreamer, at least in my personal opinion.
I hope
I
not.
do feel like John will be moving to San Francisco when this is all over. I think that's going to open up a lot more stories. I think that it's going to introduce more villains, and I think that that can't do anything other than put out good stories for John.
Yeah.
There's
Take the hell of a
likely
time to do it as the Titans move out of San Francisco and go somewhere else.
right. I do feel like there's likely still some pieces of Brainiac Queen left inside of him because he didn't just lay there. He got up like 3 different times. Look, dudes, I'm okay, bruh. I mean, he just was ignoring it and doing his best to shove off what needed to be done. I don't think that was the smartest decision, and I don't think that all of the Brainiac Queen is out of him yet.
Yeah.
I feel like John does have a lot more to do in this event, and a lot more of this event has to do with John. For what the topic was going on in here, I think it was really good. I just can't tell what it is that we're going to be seeing going forward, which is okay with me. Again, the art is gorgeous. I enjoyed this one because it's a tie-in that actually means something, rather than just having a banner on the cover that says, "Hey, this is a part of that," and then really having nothing to do with it. So I'm pretty happy about that.
I'll say, like, there was definitely a story here that could be told, and I'm
Mhm.
not upset that it was told because it was interesting. But I think it's yet to be determined if it actually does mean something. Because we had, for example, last year with Night Terrors, there was a whole bunch of tie-ins that said, yeah, this character to be continued, the story to be continued in Night Terrors #4, and then that character never fucking showed up in that book. And for example,
Well, it
Hal
wasn't.
Jordan,
Yeah, it
which
wasn't
is
that
one, for
I,
example.
the story was supposed to continue in that issue.
Yeah.
I didn't think the characters were, like Poison Ivy's tie-ins are the only blemishes in that entire run. That was bad. And it was included for no reason other than to say, okay, well, we've got this overarching story that's going on and it's going to encompass the entire DC universe, but there should have been a lot more thought put into that and a lot more caution put into that.
Yeah.
Because what we got out of several of those books, and I will say Green Lantern is one of them that wove it in and out flawlessly,
Yeah.
but very, very few did. And this was heavily centric into the main story. Now, whether or not I'm right and this is going to lead to big developments with John Kent remains to be seen. But up until then, I am going to give Absolute Power Super Sun #1 an 8 out of 10.
I will do the same. 8 out of 10.
Well, there's no wonder why you did that, but there is a wonder why this was written. Wonder Woman #13. Right there, you can see. It was written by Tom King with art from Tony S. Daniel, with colors by Leonardo Pacchiaroti, Clayton Cole's lettering, and a cover from Daniel and Marcelo Mialo. We are on the island of Gomorrah, and Diana and Steve are making out,
Making out.
much to Damien's chagrin. Even as they are making their way out and back in, Diana and Steve can't quit stopping to make out. And that's annoying Damien big time. They make their way in, and Damien has a
Annoying everybody
plan.
else in the process.
What was that?
I think it's annoying all the readers as well.
Yeah, I bet. So Damien's got a plan to skirt the alarms, engage the guards, and rescue those that are being held. And it works. Diana is a decoy while Damien frees the captives. The plan works, but Diana is really rough. She deflected bullets with her bracers, but had no super durability behind it. So she's really hurt. Damien draws up a spell to summon Zatanna, and she pops in through a hole to get people out of that facility, the prison, and out through the dark roads. It's a hurry up and get everyone through the portal moment, so naturally we see Diana and Steve making out again. I mean, that makes total sense. A warrior princess and a master spy know that when you're making an escape from a prison being ran by Amanda Waller with an army of Amazos at her disposal, you should stop and make out at least 3 times. I'm glad the heroes are free. I'm glad the art was easy to look at, but I feel like they dropped this makeout shit in there just to fill out pages because they didn't have enough story. It's a prison breakout issue. It should not feel like a CW show. It's very regrettable. The backup is The Secret Origin of Trinity, written again by Tom King with art by Kerry Randolph, colors Alex Guimarães, and Clayton Cole's lettering. It's pretty dumb. It's a very really weirdly written retelling of everything that we just read, but this time it ends with Damien basically saying, and that's how babies are made. Trash fire, but it does look good. There's nothing else to really say about this one. The backup was way worse than the main story, and the main story was not good. Nobody, and I mean nobody, under any circumstances during a prison break is going to stop and kiss anyone, let alone a world-class spy and a warrior princess. It was stupid. I'm sorry, artists. This is the best that I can do with me being nice to you. 5.5 out of 10. It really did look good, and I love me some Tony S. Daniel, excuse me. Kerry Randolph was pretty good too in the backup.
I'll be honest, I was expecting a much lower score.
I am okay. So there may have been some favoritism with Tony S. Daniel there.
I mean, I get that. He's one of my favorite Batman artists of all time, in my top 5, if not top 3. But I'm still giving this a 4 out of 10.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
it really.
I'll
is
be
horrible.
honest. I just thumbed through the backup. I just kind of looked at some words and then went back and looked at the creators and went, "Oh, it's Kerry Randolph." It's a damn shame I can't bear to go through the story again to look at the art.
Yeah, it's fucking bad. It really is. It's that fucking bad. And that's, again, this is me. Rob is the one that's trying to be optimistic all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a 4 out of 10, which means that I really probably should upgrade this 2.
Well,
But
I'll say 4.5 because there was one part I liked, while it also did feel like it again some of the dialogue just felt out of character. Um, when they freed all the heroes, some of the pairings that you saw were really cool. Like you saw Plastic Man and Elongated Man working together,
Yeah.
and talking about how, hey, this actually hurts. Can you believe it?
It's like, wait, stretching doesn't hurt?
Yeah. I thought that was weird when Plastic Man said stretching doesn't hurt.
I wasn't aware that it did.
I don't think it does. I think that's Tom King being dark for the sake of being
Maybe.
dark.
It
That-
could be.
that
I would
sounded
actually have
really
to ask
weird
Holly
to
for that
me.
one.
Ask who?
I'd have to ask Holly. She's a Plastic Man nerd.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Right
Her
on.
3 favorite comic book characters are are Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Plastic Man.
Oh, excuse me. That's a hell of a trio.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Always make. What would a team up book like that look like?
Wacky
But
as
anyway.
fuck, and Poison Ivy being pissed off a lot.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. I'd be down for that. I can only imagine the dialogue between Plaz and Harley. That'd be awesome.
It would be. It would have to be comedic gold. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it can only be written by one person. Gail Simone.
Oh, that would be good.
Right?
That would be good.
Right? Somebody, like, get on X, like, tweet at Gail Simone and say, start pitching a trio book with Harley, Ivy, and Plastic Man.
I really, really selfishly want another ongoing Joel Jones book, so that would be my vote. But Gail Simone, give it to the bear, man.
Yeah. I mean, Joel Jones could write magic with a freaking crayon, but like Joel Jones is also I always thought pretty serious as a writer, and you need some pretty heavy comedy, and Gail Simone can definitely provide that comedy factor. Plus, she's written an epic and plastic. I'm not going to say epic, but a really good Plastic Man story, and she's written. I think she wrote Gotham City Sirens before, no?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So she's got history
Or
with Poison
was
Ivy
it Birds of
and-
Prey?
Well, I know she did Birds of Prey, but I want to say she also did Gotham City Sirens.
Just keep G. Willow Wilson on your speed dial, and you'll be okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of the artist.
What?
I'm trying to remember the name of the artist I wanted on the book, but I can't remember the freaking name.
See, when I say Joelle Jones, I get both.
Yeah.
But you're right. She is very, very much a much. She can do sarcasm really well.
Yeah.
Like really well, I think, and she can do drama really well, snarkiness. But I don't know quite about comedy. That it would have to be a more serious book. So you're right there.
This is not working. I'm trying to. Who is it that? Shit, what's her name? The person that was drawing Harley with the current writer at first.
Sweeney Boo?
Sweeney Boo.
Yeah.
That'd be the artist.
That would be crazy.
Gail Simone and Sweeney Boo.
My God, I can't even imagine what Sweeney Boo would do with Plastic Man.
Magic. She would be magic.
Very well possible. Very well possible. I
Yeah.
am a big Sweeney Boo fan. Yeah, to the point where I would love to see, because of their presentation, not that necessarily their art style, but their presentation of their works. Sweeney Boo versus Jamal Campbell, an artist draw off.
Ooh. I'll be honest, like I like Sweeney Boo, but I think Jamal Campbell takes that.
Depends on who they're drawing.
Well, let's take a look at what he drew in here. Perfect segue into our next book, Superman number 18. Also an Absolute Power tie-in. They're almost done, I promise. Um, this
We
follows up
think.
from where we picked up or where we left off last issue. This is Absolute Power. I Hate Magic, written by Joshua Williamson, with art and cover from Jamal Campbell and letters from Ariana Maher. And hey, coincidence, variant cover by Sweeney Boo, among others. So, I was going to say, Josh, do you mind changing the cover? But he's decided to walk away. But I will get into Superman in the meantime. So we pick up where we left off in the Oblivion Bar. Superman and Zatanna have met up with none other than Neron, a demon lord of hell. At least was. He's temporarily been kicked out. And they are there to find a map of the Dark World or Dark Lands, something like that. Shadow Realm, Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know. It's some dark shadow path, but they need a map to traverse it, and Neron happens to have this map. However, because he's a demon, he needs to make a deal in order for them to have it. And they don't want any. He doesn't want any soul because Superman's soul is way too pure. He's never going to get it anyway. And Zatanna's soul is basically his as it is because she's so into dark magic, and the company she keeps kind of puts a damper on her soul to begin with. So there's no points in making a bargain with either of those souls. So the one thing he wants that is so much more interesting and so much more precious, he wants Superman to lie. That is his bargain. That is his deal. And Superman reluctantly agrees. He says, "You've got a deal. I'll lie for you." Zatanna is overwhelmingly shocked and begs him to reconsider. But as they walk away with the map, Superman turns to her and says, "Look, Neron asked me to lie, so I did." Um, that's a loophole that I feel like Neron should have seen coming, but I guess it worked. Whatever.
Neron's never met Joshua Williamson.
Yeah, I thought that was stupid, but at the same time, it's like, does it really count as? So he lied about lying? That's a double negative? He's telling the truth. You know?
Is that how that works? I'm gonna have to
I-
call up my composition teacher from
I don't
college.
fucking know anymore. But besides that, back in the Arctic, the ragtag squad of Superfam are heading towards the Fortress of Solitude and arrive to find it shattered into pieces and ultimately destroyed. Um, Lois is understandably heartbroken and um, in shock and awe, realistically, and begging Mercy to tell her where Superman is. The Dark Roads is where Zatanna and Superman are next. That is what it was called, the map they were looking for, and I could not remember the name of. They begin to traverse the Dark Roads with Zatanna using the map, but the map is supposed to use magic influence to power it, and since she does not have any magic influence, it is instead taking from her life force. So it is weakening her quite a lot.
Not the life force, but leaving her with a really cool face tattoo.
You know, it's actually really fucking cool because it's leaving dotted lines like on a map all over her face. Uh, and Superman is pleading with her to maybe take it easy, that she's more than magic. But as Zatanna reveals to him that she is basically all magic, he has so much to himself. He's Superman, he's Clark Kent, hell, he's even Kal-El. But Zatanna is her real name. It's not a code name. It is her life. Magic is everything to her. And if she doesn't have it, what does she really have?
Fishnets. Really cool outfit.
You know? She's got, like, almost every costume has been dope on Zatanna.
A horrible boyfriend. An incredible mentor.
Yeah. All rolled into one cigarette.
Well, I meant Madame Xanadu for the mentor, but
Oh. Yeah, I guess. And she smokes too, I think.
Well, she's made smoke. Close enough.
But doesn't she have like that really long cigarette holder, like the old
You know,
timey?
I think she might.
Yeah,
I think she
I
might.
might be like
Or am I
making that up,
thinking of
but
Agatha from Marvel?
I don't know if Agatha does. Agatha Harkness. I don't know.
I think one of the evil, weird sorceresses that know everything does.
Yeah,
One of them.
Madam Web.
Not funny.
uh, I was gonna say I wasn't trying to be funny, but at the same time I was. So like, I can't argue that. So basically, the map is able to lead them to where they need to go, and that is the House of Heroes, because the plan is that they will enter the multiverse and bring back a team of multiversal heroes to help turn the tide against Amanda Waller and her army. However, Amanda Waller has already planned for that, and she was able to cut off bridges to the greater multiverse and even shut down the House of Heroes. And her Amazos attacked the heroes there, meeting up with none other than Dr. Light, who we have not seen, from what I remember, since Dark Crisis when she got that major power up.
Yeah, no, she's been gone ever since that.
Yeah,
Then.
so she's been in the House of Heroes, except her powers are now gone, but she still has that dope ass costume.
Well, most
So
of it.
most of it, yeah. Her powers are gone, and reveals that Waller is up to something, but she doesn't quite know what. And as what we know is now she has her own portals to the multiverse and is working with the villains of the multiverse. As more specifically, villains from Earth 3, such as the one we are about to see, who we also have not seen since Dark Crisis, and now gets a name by the name of Confusion, and that this is now the last character who we in the last character in the last page of Dark Crisis, number 7 or whatever it was, um, Waller's Doom Squad. Which, if you remember the Batman Superman fusion from World's Finest, this is the alternate one with Yellow Lantern energy and a purple and green mock-up with a very Joker and Bizarro inspired color scheme, but it's so fucking confusing. But that's why his name is Confusion, as he is revealed. He is also from Earth 3.
I low key hope that pisses Dan Mora off, but continue.
Excuse me. Superman then says, "But you're not Ultraman or Owlman." And as Confusion begins to say, "No, I'm really," and then gets interrupted by an explosion. But the House of Heroes has actually crashed into the lead space wall, um, which throws everybody asunder. The heroes are able to escape through this hole in the bleed, um, and Confusion chases after them but does not catch them in time. Um, the heroes, meanwhile, back at the Fortress of Solitude, are splitting up, where Lex, Jimmy, and Silver Banshee are heading back to Metropolis, while, excuse me, Lois and Mercy are staying behind. Wait, was Lena here the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't see
I
it.
mean, assumingly so.
Assumingly, yeah. They stay behind to try and figure out what to do next and regroup.
I meant presumably, not assumingly. But
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, either one. But they also interrupt, or what's the inter? They get a message from Waller, a signal from Waller. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Intercept. Holy shit! Intercepts a message from Waller, who's directing all Amazos and her army back to Gamora because she suspects the heroes are coming to get her, which we know they are. But just then, The shadows around them begin to form up onto a nearby wall. Um, Mercy gets ready to attack, but then Lois recognizes the shadow form that the shadows have turned into, and it's none other than Superman as he is pulled out of the shadow and says, I love magic because now he's reunited with his love, Lois. Zatanna and uh, Dr. Light have joined them, and they're all together again. And they are now figuring out their next plan of attack, um, knowing that they now have to regroup with the heroes with the information they have next. We knew they go back to Themyscira and are now going to head towards Gamora to be continued Absolute Power number 4 and the Superwoman special in December, which I imagine has to do with Lois with this experimental supersuit. But wait, there's more. We get one last page, which I think we've already seen, but
We have.
now. But I think this one's a little like we've seen. Is Doomsday punching a wall, but then he breaks through? Did we see him break through before? Or was he just punching it before?
He was punching and it started to crack. So what we've got now, we had 3 panels before.
Yeah.
And 2 of the 3 panels that we have this time were the last 2 panels last time with a new panel thrown in showing him breaking through. So
yeah, so now he's broken the wall down. Doomsday has broken out of hell. And that's to be continued next month as Superman goes all in against Doomsday.
Because where the fuck are Etrigan and Bloodwind, who were supposed to be making sure he was behaving himself?
I mean, how much can they really? It's Doomsday. Last time Bloodwind fought Doomsday, he had the Justice League on his side. Didn't go well. Right? Right.
Yeah. We're going to be looking at a super Doomsday who has died every way possible now.
Yeah. And he's infused with the power of hell.
Fatality.
Pretty much. Right, so that is Superman number 18. There are a couple of bits that I didn't quite get or rubbed me the wrong way, but ultimately I liked the story. The art was fantastic throughout. I've been waiting 2 years to figure out what's up with this negative Superman-Batman fusion. I wish they'd come up with a proper name for that fusion character. Composite Superman just feels like a cop out because we've had like 5 different composite Supermans at this point.
Composite
And
Batman, Superman.
It's never officially been named that either. So I don't know. I guess we'll just call it that. What's McFarlane calling it? I don't know.
That's what I was just gonna look up.
I think they're calling it Composite Superman. Because again, that's the only thing that makes sense. It's never been officially named. It's only been done the one time. And we know that to be true because that's what Superman said in this issue. I've been waiting 2 years to see this reverse version of the fusion show up. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of disappointed. But I'm also curious still and excited about the curiosity as to who the hell it is because it's recognized that it is a fusion of characters. We don't know who the fusion is, and I am excited to see what that fusion could be. I'm kind of annoyed that he's from Earth 3 because I don't think that's how Earth 3 works.
Where it's supposed to be the exact opposite of whoever it is.
Well, I mean,
and yeah,
there's evil versions, but I don't think it's because it happens in the main universe. It has to happen in Earth 3. I don't think that's how that works, right?
Not to my knowledge.
I think it's just there's negative counterparts in Earth 3. I think is all it is. I don't know. I don't fucking know, but
McFarlane calls it Batman Superman fusion.
Yeah, I think we need a better name.
Yeah.
Super Bats.
But the whole thing here with this particular redesign isn't just Batman and Superman. It's also Green Lantern.
Well, I mean, it always was. They only fused because of Green Lantern's ring.
This time.
What do you mean this time? It only
I
happened
mean,
once.
not all composite Batman Superman characters were because of the Green Lantern ring.
Oh no, but they were most of
This
them were
particular one is
robots, weren't they? Or alien, like
yes,
altered
but
universe.
yet this is a fusion
Yeah,
that is a new way, and honestly, it is easily the best looking one that's ever been made.
yeah.
But I think if we're going to be calling it something ridiculous, it shouldn't be Batman Superman fusion. It should be Batman Superman Green Lantern fusion.
I mean, it's hard to come up with a name. We'll get there. We don't need to add more words to it.
Oh wait, hold on.
I get it, but
Okay, so bad one's name is Confusion.
yeah,
Good one's name just Fusion. Because something like Clarity doesn't ring like a badass hero name.
yeah,
And as far as
yeah.
regular
Fair
Superman
enough.
goes, what's that?
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but like you said, as far as Superman goes, it is beautiful to look at. Jamal Campbell,
Definitely.
hella good still. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy the story with Superman and Satana and their journeys through the Dark Lands. I keep forgetting what
The Dark Road.
Dark Roads. Thank you. Um, and that whole side story with magic that was interesting. So with all that in mind, I will give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Well, I am not right there with you. I read this book just like I've been reading every other Superman book. This is pretty much boiling down what happens. They got a map to navigate the dark roads. Oh, look, an evil version of composite Superman Batman? Cool. So, what else happens? Or what even happened? At least that mattered. I read 20 something pages and couldn't figure out why the hell or what the hell I should be getting out of it. Clark made a deal with Neron to lie, immediately lied, so that's not an issue. Deal fulfilled. The Dark Road map is eating Zatanna's life force, but now Superman is lending her his, like he is still basically immortal, so that's not an issue. So again, basically, more stuff happens, and again, none of it really matters. There was nothing in this that added to the story whatsoever. I didn't think anything pulled anything else into the story to make it any better. I kind of wish Jamal Campbell wasn't drawing this so I could grade the story accurately. But for now, I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. Williamson, say thank you to Jamal more than once. And do it right, meow.
Wow.
You're welcome. Catwoman number 68, written by Teenie Howard, art by Carmine Di Giandomenico, colors Veronica Gandini, letters Tom Napolitano, and a cover from David Nakayama, DNA himself. This is part 10 of 9 Lives, and it's the end. Excuse me. While I get into this book here, Rob stepped out for a minute, and he's the one that usually watches the chat, so let me pull this up so I can keep an eye out for everybody. All right. Like I said, part 10 of 9 Lives. It is the end. This last issue picks up where the previous issue left off. Selina is laying on Hush's operating table with him about to perform brain surgery to remove the meteor fragment and save her life. He's doing this so he has a useful prisoner, not because he's a good guy. And Flamingo is hanging around because he wants to eat her face, which apparently Hush is totally okay with as long as he's able to make sure she's alive first. So while the White Glove squares off against the Strays and the Hasagawa clan, and while Batman makes advances towards Hush's location, Selina goes to the pathways of the afterlife once again. Bastet has confirmed that she indeed loves Selina. Because she chooses to love Selina, it is not unconditional. There's a reason for it. And because of that, she's going to let her choose one way to go. She can choose life just one last time. She's not dead yet, just incredibly close. Or she can choose to die and have judgment passed on her now. Selina accepts the love Bastet has offered and moves toward the land of the living. Strangely enough, she runs into Valmont, who's just decided that this is where he's going to hang out. He's pretty dead and pretty chill about it. And he basically says, I forgive you. Meanwhile, Batman is using the old metal fillings in her tooth, Catwoman's tooth, to send radio signals to Selina that only she can hear, guiding her back to the land of the living. She awakens as Batman strikes, and the two of them take out Hush and Flamingo together. This is Selina bald, by the way. I forgot to mention that she is definitely completely head shaved. You can see it at the beginning of the book, which makes sense for the story and for brain surgery. It's going to be interesting to see what she looks like should she pop up in any stories anytime soon. However, returning to the dock, and the White Glove makes their escape. The book ends with an assertion that Selina will always be there for her strays and any woman that needs her. And that's it. First, through the whole thing, the art has been banging. I mean, so effing good. This issue is no different. Apparently, and I don't understand it, but nobody is a big fan of this book. But given Catwoman's history, how long I've been reading Catwoman solo titles, not just tied to whether or not she's fucking a bat. It goes all the way back to when I was a kid. This is the kind of character that Catwoman is and always has been. There's been some variations. She's been a criminal, she's been this and she's been that. But at her core, this is who Selina Kyle has always been. To me, Howard's portrayal of Catwoman was flawless. While no one but G. Willow Wilson is perfect, there were very few problems that I have had with this entire run. I'm a big fan of this book. More than anything, what's important to me is showing real personality and showing the characters being true to who they are at their core, rather than just filling up pages with rambling dialogue and meaningless words and actions. I'm sad to see this end. This issue was really good. The whole damn run was really good. And if you don't like this run, hot take maybe, but if you don't like this run, you're not a Catwoman fan. You're a fan of Batman boning a fetish suit. There's a whole section on Pornhub for you guys with questions as to ask as to when I get to read more Catwoman, who will be writing it, and where Teeny is going after this. I have no idea, but I can tell you that this issue rightly deserves an 8.5 out of 10.
I can 100% agree, except I gave it a 7.5.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I still really liked it. There's just something about it just didn't quite make it stellar for me. You know, they're not quite enough to bring it into that 8 and up echelon.
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure out what it was. It was just maybe it's I don't know. Maybe I'm just sad that Teeny Howard's leaving the book. I don't know. But it was interesting. I feel like there was a lot of stuff left open. Like they closed a lot of stuff, like that stuff with Valmont, but there was still a lot of stuff left open as to just what the fuck Duchess really is. I'm hoping Alien.
I'm hoping she's a, for lack of a better word, a guardian angel from Bastet.
That'd be cool.
Because we do see Duchess in the real world, and she still has that sparkly Donna Troy pants kind of thing going on with her.
Yeah, It's really freaking weird.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, like that. I guess that's one of the biggest things I'm confused about, just what the hell Duchess really is. Um, but no, it was a good send off. I'll say, closed off the story arc, closed off a lot of open plot threads. Um, I'd say left Catwoman in an interesting position, um, but didn't really set up anything else for another. Right? It just feels like there's a lot more story to tell. Like, kind of just left things in an awkward position.
I can see where that's coming from because right now we have a whole group of strays.
Yeah,
We have the group the strays who all basically, again for lack of a better word, work for Selina Kyle. We've got Iko, who's running the Hasagawa clan and is also Catwoman,
Yeah.
not quite so secretly
uses
anymore.
to let it go.
Yes, refuses to let it go. So there's two Catwomen that are running around, two different kinds of Catwomen.
Yeah,
And we've got the mystery with Duchess that's still there. We've got no clue what's going to happen with Hoops. But the fact that she was the one that Selina was pouring attention to, that makes me think that that's going to be a character development later on. I don't want to say quite so much that there were loose threads as there are seeds planted.
yeah, but it's really weird to plant seeds and then finish your run, and then leave
I
it for
don't.
another writer that might not want to pick up those seeds. You know,
Is Catwoman continuing?
it is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do we know who the creative team is?
Yes, but it's not a writer I've heard of. So let me pull it up. Let's see, Catwoman. So next month we start off with Torin Gronbeck and Fabiana Mascola.
Torin Grombeck. I know that name.
Yeah, she's ready.
Matter of fact, I bet if I asked that name to Brandon, he would yell at me.
I believe he does. I think we talked about it on Sunday when the three of us were chatting.
Oh, maybe.
Red Sonia.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep. Okay. So, someone that knows how to draw action, drama, or write. I meant not draw, but that could be really good. We'll see where it goes, man, and hopefully, we'll get some of those strings tied up and see if those seeds do get a chance to grow. I certainly hope so. My biggest, if this is continuing next month and there's no like hiatus put in between the two story arcs at the very get go, I'm talking about a caption box that says 6 months later.
Yeah.
Selina better be bald.
I mean, if it's 6 months later,
If it has a caption, if
Yeah.
it gives us a break from
Yeah.
the end of this arc to the beginning of the other one, awesome. But if it's picking up right where it left off, Selina better not have hair.
Oh,
She
okay.
she was just completely bald. She just had brain surgery.
Yeah.
It's going to take a minute for that to grow back.
Yeah.
As far as the storytelling goes, Torin Grombeck, I hope you do well. And I've got no preconceived notions going into this, just a whole lot of hope that it works out.
Yeah. I think it'll fly quite well.
We'll see, man. I don't know. I've been loving Catwoman for the last 2 years, and it seems like not a lot of people are. Are quite fans of what Rom V did leading into Teeny Howard's run and anything Teeny Howard has done
Yeah.
on
a lot
Catwoman,
of
and
it.
unfortunately
Sorry.
also with Harley Quinn. Apparently, everybody hates Teeny Howard, and I think that's a bunch of bullshit. But
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the Harley Quinn book was nuts. But it was definitely a Harley Quinn book, and it got shit really crazy. And if you're responsible for coming up with an idea of Harley crossing over with Captain Carrot and beating the shit out of people with a Vorpal fish, how can you not like that? I mean, that's just way Harley. And also, if you're a person who does not like the current Harley run, or did not like the current Harley run, but did like Sam Humphries, you should go talk to a therapist.
What is your problem with Sam Humphries?
He almost destroyed Harley Quinn and broke up Harley and Poison Ivy, and at the very last issue of his run, had Harley making out with Booster Gold. Yeah, your silence is definitely deserved.
No, because that happened in a Tom King book. That was in Heroes in Crisis.
That was Sam Humphries did that shit.
But that was in Heroes in Crisis, so it happened twice?
I mean, Tom King fucking up, wouldn't put it past him. I will look up that Harley Quinn book by Sam Humphries. I will show you. But at the very end of his run, her and Michael hooked up.
Interesting.
I know that because I used to watch that show, and I'm completely blanking on what the hell the name of it was. It had Sam Humphries and 2 or 3 other people that were on it, and they'd get together and talk about DC stuff like all the time on the DC Universe channel. And I can't remember who the hell it was. But
sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry. We have, and take this with a grain of salt, we have a new list of McFarlane leaks.
Oh, no.
You want to know what's coming?
Do I want to know what's coming?
Do you want to know what's coming?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, well, I'll start off. They're doing another 1-to-1 scale collector cowl from DC Direct. This time it's the Dark Knight.
Okay, stop with the cowls, because that's dumb. Next.
Are
they? Wait, hold on. They're 1-to-1?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, they aren't big enough to put on.
Well, there's some that are mini, but there's some they sell that are like actual
full
scale
size.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad idea. I don't
understand
why. I don't understand why I didn't know that they made them full size.
Yeah.
And wanting a half size cowl, I'm like, why?
For people that want to have a little bust statuette but can't afford the $300 for the normal size one, because the small one's like $12.
No.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking cheap.
The ones that have just been coming out from McFarlane.
Yeah.
Are $12.
I'm pretty sure. I remember seeing somebody pre-ordering one. I think it was the Adam West one, and I'm pretty sure it said like $12 on it. Like, they're insanely cheap. I could be wrong. It was a couple weeks ago I saw it. It was like 1/6 scale or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's a 1-to-1 here. Oh, and it don't even give you the damn price, of course.
Yeah. Now I'm curious.
So the 1-to-1 is $100 at GameStop.
Yeah. So the 1-to-6 has got to be a hell of a lot cheaper. If it's 1/6.
It is 1-to-3.
1-to-3. Oh, okay.
And I'm just gonna hit GameStop because Amazon blows.
Yeah. I think it was GameStop.
Oh, those are $15.
Yeah, they're like.
So they're probably like what, 25 in Canada?
Probably. But yeah, like that's what
I'm looking at the Batman Nightfall cowl. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, all
That'd
right.
be weird. Okay, so I know you don't care about the superpowers figures, but there are some interesting superpowers figures coming. We got Ray Palmer Adam, we got Jay
Hmm.
Garrick Flash, we got Unmasked Batman, a chase figure. We have Lobo, we have Jason Todd Robin, we have Return of Superman, which is a chase figure, and then we have the Black Manta Sea Saucer and the Bat Multicraft for the vehicles. So that'll be
Those
the
last
next
two I
superpowers
saw a
figure.
while ago.
Return of Superman and Jason Todd.
No.
Oh, the
The
vehicles.
black the Black Manta vehicle and
Yeah,
the
the Bat Multicraft. Yeah, those
yep.
those were teased a while back.
Yeah.
But now I think they were like part of like a limited time promotion where you get the set of figures with those vehicles. I mean, it looks like they're going to be releasing them as like mass produced, which is cool.
Yeah.
So the superpower figures are pretty. I like some of the superpower figures. I only have Green Lantern ones, and I have Blue Beetle and Booster Gold
Right.
for obvious reasons. Wait, no, I don't have Booster Gold yet. Shit. Um, but like I like them. They're cute little figures. But now we get into the collector's editions, the full 7-inch scale ones. We have in Wave 9 Captain Cold.
Oh, again. Okay.
What do you mean? No, he hasn't happened yet.
Captain Cold?
Yeah, he hasn't happened yet.
There's just been a Captain Cold that happened not too long ago.
That was Captain Boomerang.
Oh shit, it was Captain Boomerang. Captain Cold has
Yeah,
been out
wrong
for
Captain.
hasn't they haven't released
Right.
one for like forever.
Yeah, there's not been a McFarlane Captain Cold as far as I remember. That has a chase version.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's a normal
So
one
yes,
and a
I'm
chase.
mixing it up with Page Punchers.
There was a Page Puncher's Captain. Maybe there was a Page Puncher's Captain Cold.
Yep.
Oh, okay. But that's like stylistic, like original
Uh,
design, right?
It's got his I call it his Bane mask.
Right.
But it's like his whole face covered in a
Yeah.
mask. That's the one that it is. But it's got
Yeah.
his winter hood and
Yeah.
the suit. It looks cool. It just doesn't have his face, which I think is a
Weird.
mistake.
Yeah, like one of the most defining features of Captain Cold, besides the fur hood, is the thick ass glasses.
Right. I need
Yeah.
those glasses with the
Those
rectangle.
Exactly. So we got Captain Cold coming. We have
Cool.
Power Girl.
Ah, what Power Girl?
It doesn't say.
Damn it. I need both. I need both. I need with and without boob window for different teams.
Well, I mean,
I'm
if
not
she
alone out there. I know
If
it.
she doesn't have the boob window, she's Supergirl,
What?
right?
No, wait, hold on. Is current?
Current page, I think, still has a boob window. If I'm not mistaken. It's not the same kind of boob window, but there's still kind of a boob window because she talks about boob sweat.
That doesn't mean.
Yeah, page.
Yeah, it's not the same. She's got like
Yeah, it's a smaller one.
a much
She-
smaller
she-
one.
She mentions it. I think when she gets a new suit, she mentions she prefers it to have ventilation because it prevents boob sweat. Which like
You
that's
know?
kind of brilliant.
And I like if Holly had superpowers, I could totally hear her saying that.
Yeah. And the last one, this is McFarlane Collector Edition 7-inch Wave 9, number 32,
Guy
Uh,
Gardner.
normal and chase edition. Green Lantern Guy Gardner.
Is it?
It
I fucking told you. I fucking told you. And there's a chase edition. I'm telling you, son. I told you a year ago. I promised you it was gonna happen. You're gonna get Guy Gardner, and the chase variant's gonna be a Red Lantern.
Red
You
Lantern.
are welcome.
Go.
I am still McFarlane psychic.
So I need to get both.
I will help you get
I
both.
need to get both. If it's not a Red Lantern, there's going to be hell to pay. Like fans are going to go, well,
If it's not a Red
bonkers.
Lantern, what you're gonna get is probably not his current look, but the one previous, and then classic. But I really think that you're gonna get his previous look and a Red Lantern. That's what I'm really thinking.
The only thing that kind of prevents me in believing that, unless they do it like they did with Sinestro, is like most of the chases are really just a recolor
Mm-hmm.
and not really changing up the costume. And he did have a Red Lantern costume that was basically the same, but
Yep.
the Red Lantern logo was a lot more heavy in the suit, in the jacket, than the Green Lantern logo was. Right? So it's I don't see them completely changing the symbol, but then I'm also thinking of John Stewart in the JLA wave. Like the Chase version is actually a different logo on the
Mm-hmm.
torso. So maybe they're updating that, and maybe it will be a Red Lantern chase with Green Lantern.
Bro, what do you mean maybe?
I mean, you never know. He might just fuck around.
Nah, Todd ain't gonna fuck around.
He's fucked
I ain't
around
be-
before.
I haven't been wrong yet.
I know, but he's
3
fucked around
years.
before.
I haven't been wrong yet.
He's fucked around before. That's all I'm saying.
It's, he better not. I'll be so disappointed.
So, yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait.
No, I'm looking forward to it. And you tell me how I can help you get that Green Lantern. How I can help you get both versions.
I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but now I need you to. Oh wait,
Will into existence what?
oh what? I was gonna say now I need you to start hoping for a Simon Baz for the next Green Lantern, but this guy in the comments section says he says I know I've seen leaks for Reeve Superman, Mister Terrific, Grid, and Simon Baz Green Lantern. So Simon Baz might already be happening.
Wait. What was that list again?
Christopher Reeve Superman,
Which, yep, that's true.
Simon Baz Green Lantern,
I'm not sure, but sounds familiar. What were the other two?
Mr. Terrific, and Grid.
Yes, I know for a fact that the two of those are coming.
Yeah,
So Simon Baz probably definitely is too.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know for a fact that those three are coming. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense that Simon Baz was wrong.
Oh, so here's the thing. So here's another thing that the chase could be. You have modern day Guy Gardner with the crew cut, and then
Yep.
classic Guy Gardner with the bowl cut.
That's what I was saying.
No, but both Green Lantern.
That's what I said. I said you're either going to get his previous look and classic Guy
Oh,
Gardner, or you're going to get his previous look and Red Lantern.
Yeah.
And then I honestly, it would take a lot more for them to put out the classic.
Yeah. Because
You
they have
know
to
what I
fashion
mean?
a whole new head.
Yeah, exactly.
Which honestly they sometimes they do that even in just the regular figures. Like you'll get a bonus head.
They're switching over to face plates, unfortunately now,
Oh god.
which makes me nervous because, from what I understand, like I've seen a couple people complaining about how the face plates on Huntress don't look right when they get snapped on. And that bums me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not true.
Well, I will let you know when my Manhunter comes in if the faceplates look good on Manhunter.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But I suppose now that we've talked about all kinds of McFarlane toys, including Batman Superman Fusion,
Yeah, may as well talk about the book where it debuted, and that is the last book of the week for us. This is Batman Superman World's Finest, number 31. This is written by Mark Waid with art from Adrian Gutierrez, colors from Tamara Bonvillain, and letters from Steve Wands with a glorious cover from Dan Mora. This is called Total Eclipso. At least,
Of the
no,
heart.
it's called Shadow's Fall, but the cover says Total Eclipso. So,
Of the heart.
some years ago on the Justice League satellite, the Justice League are watching the eclipse happen. And thanks to the help of scientist Ray Palmer, aka the Atom, he is able to put a special lens over the windows, over the glass on the watchtower, so they can look at it very close up and have the best view possible of the solar eclipse and not cause any damage to themselves, period. Just as the eclipse hits, Superman and Elongated Man are just admiring it, but unbeknownst to them, Black Canary, Green Arrow, and Green Lantern have been taken over by Eclipso. We then jump back to 24 hours earlier, where various heroes are working with Dr. Bruce Gordon and a Dr. Mona Bennett on building a new solar city, which is going to be the most advanced clean energy installation on Earth. And they are doing just that very well. While Batman and Robin are busy taking care of any would-be villains that tries to pop up while the heroes are busy helping build the city. Um, Robin does have a question about Dr. Gordon, who, if you may remember, was once the host for Eclipso, and as Batman assures him that they did exorcise Eclipso from Dr. Gordon and re-imprisoned him in his own black diamond, which is safely stored on the Justice League satellite. However, Dr. Gordon is having a stress fit as the city has been powered up and is only at 92% efficiency and is not good enough for him. And he's raving about how if only they made a Prometheum conversion cell and using various equipment from Dr. Light that the Justice League left them with, the original evil Dr. Light, that is. Rummaging through the box yet again, a secret compartment opens up, and out pops what Dr. Gordon believes is a Prometheum cell. So he inserts it into the machinery, much to his fellow doctors' chagrin, and tries to get him to stop and think about this and run tests, but he's determined. And as he inserts it in the machine and powers it on, he realizes that it's not a Prometheum cell, and then it blows up. And with that, Dr. Gordon is infected with Eclipso yet again. Turns out the Prometheum cell was a secondary sister stone, which contained a portion of Eclipso. And then we jump back to the present, where Batman has arrived on the satellite and finds all the heroes fighting. Atom has also been taken over by Eclipso and takes out Flash by giving him basically an inner ear infection. Superman is doing what he can against Green Arrow and Green Lantern, but Green Arrow is able to hit him with an kryptonite arrow, and so Batman gets Superman out of dodge and takes the arrow out. Elongated Man tells Red Tornado to go after Eclipso, find wherever the hell he is, because being an android, he is not able to be taken over, except Eclipso is able to use his magic, making some kind of weird tentacles and shatter right through Reddy's body. Superman is able to take down some heroes, but Dr. Gordon, back on Earth, has been building some kind of cannon and points it directly at the Justice League Watchtower. Red Tornado is able to teleport off the Watchtower as Superman is doing what he can to fight Eclipso, but is not doing much. And then, as Red Tornado is able to teleport away, a beam of light from this cannon blows up the Watchtower, seemingly. Red Tornado arrives in Civic City and climbs up these stone steps to a brownstone, knocks on the door, asking for help.
Brownstone.
And the one person that answers the door seems very concerned, and it is none other than Jay Garrick, um, which he then says, if the Justice League is down, that sounds like a job for the Justice Society. So they make an entrance into World's Finest. And I just got even happier about this story arc. um, so I've still been loving this book, left, right, and center. I think there was like a downturn for me at one point, but it's still been a hella fun book. Just getting these blast from the past stories, seeing this older Justice League. Wonder Woman's not the story, which is kind of a bummer, but seeing characters like Elongated Man palling around with the Atom and Flash and Green Arrow and everybody, it just feels like nostalgic, and it's nice to see. Because Elongated Man is one of my favorite characters, and I wish he was around more. Eclipso, in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous villains in existence, and when he pops up, it's always interesting.
I was actually gonna say that, like, here's my thing with Eclipso. I feel like he should be depicted way more powerful than he has been for years and years.
Yeah. Like, he's been relegated to a joke at certain points.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I thought this is like going back a little bit towards the beginning of our podcast. I'm not even can't remember the exact time that it came out, but you may have been into it, or this may have just wrapped before y'all joined. But I was super excited for when Eclipso was gonna be popping into Gem World. And I was like, how in the hell can you not make this an amazing story?
Yeah, I think that was in Jeremy Flash.
What's that?
I think that was in Jeremy Adams' Flash.
And I feel don't take anything wrong from this if it was Jeremy Adams, Mr. Adams, but it felt like there could have been a lot more done with Eclipso, because I feel like he was a villain of the week. And,
Yeah,
he should be.
He was kind of underpowered there, but at the same time, he nearly succeeded. If I am remembering correctly, I think he nearly succeeded in taking over Gem World. Unless that was somebody else.
No, it wouldn't have been. Oh wait, hold on. There was also the Obsidians.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
We have to.
Now I
we
gotta
have
go
to
reread
revisit
it.
it. Yeah, we gotta revisit that story. It's been a while, but no, I get what you mean. Yeah, like Eclipso has been severely underpowered, basically since Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and seeing a story like this again, it takes place in the past, so it's going to give him classic power levels, where he was a threat, a force to be reckoned with, and he's magic, so Superman can barely touch him. And really hard for the League to really, especially early on in the League's period, so they don't have the same mental defenses that they would later attain against possession, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, according to how I was reading that story, they've only gone up against Eclipso one time before.
Yeah, it's really early on. Could have been maybe twice, because at this point we don't know how many times Dr. Gordon struck out as Eclipso. Like they know enough that Dr. Gordon was possessed by Eclipso. It could have only been the one time, but it also, like, I got the sense that there was a few adventures, a few run-ins with Gordon as Eclipso, but still,
They did
like,
seem pretty
still
knowledgeable.
very early on in Eclipso's tenure as a villain. Still, because now this isn't just them fighting a possessed being as Eclipso. This is like untethered Eclipso. This is like full power Eclipso.
This is
right?
full power Eclipso.
And that's basically the whole issue, is them getting fucked up by Eclipso. And then it ends with a tease of the Justice Society going to save the day and also fighting Eclipso. Color me sold. This is 9 out of 10. Honestly, I fucking love this issue. And it's Dan Morris, so it looks damn good.
It's not Dan Mora.
Yeah, it was.
It's Adrian Gutierrez. Dan Mora did the cover.
Shit.
But Adrian Gutierrez
I was
is
looking at the
a
cover. That's what I was
very talented
I said,
artist.
shit, it wasn't Dan Mora. You're right. I mean, yeah, well, Adrian Gutierrez is also. Sorry, I was looking at the cover when I said like the cover's Dan Morris, like the interior was
Yep.
Dan Morris,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
But
He's
no, this
busy. He's
is
busy over in the other worlds.
yeah. So no,
The
that like
absolute power.
Gutierrez did a fantastic job with this issue.
Very much so. And I'm sure, Tamara, that your last name should be pronounced Bonvillain, but Bonvillain works for me so much better because it's like if I'm not mistaken, is it French where bon means good?
Yeah, she's a great bad person.
That's what I'm saying. I like it. It's Bonvillain. But as far as this goes, man, I have not been the biggest supporter of World's Finest for pretty much the entirety of its run. But now that we've gotten past the old chum kind of phase of where it was at and then skirted around the whole mites issue, this is great. I really enjoyed it. Again, with Rob, I feel like Eclipso should be a lot more powerful, and I hope that this is breaking that trend. I find it interesting that they brought in the JSA. I hope with the JSA and Eclipso that this has another 3 issues to wrap the story up, maybe 2 at the least, because I feel like Eclipso should be a very clear and present danger, and the JSA shouldn't just be a pop up and gone. So give
Yeah.
me 2 or 3 more issues of this arc, so that it makes it count. The art looks great. Gutierrez did a great job. It's an interesting kickoff for an Eclipso story, and I really feel like Mark Waid nailed this one. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cover's fucking fantastic. And honestly,
It
at this
really
point,
is.
I'd much prefer just calling it World's Finest instead of calling it Batman Superman World's Finest. Because while those two are still the focal point of the stories, we're getting a lot of stories like this where it's a Justice League story, and like Batman was barely in a lot of it. Right?
Yep. I also heard somebody. I also saw somebody here a little while ago complaining on Reddit that it was called Batman Superman World's Finest when clearly Robin is in almost every issue. It's like it should be Batman, Robin, and Superman World's Finest.
That's a mouthful, though.
That's a mouthful, though. It's like he needs his due. I'm like, get off Dick's jock. I mean, I love my Nightwing too, man. But for Christ's sake, come on now.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We're not gonna go.
Call it World's Finest.
There you go.
Yeah.
That way you could put anybody into it,
Exactly.
except for Plastic Man.
Like even still having Batman and Superman be the focal points, and they are the retaining characters that come through in every story arc. That's fine, but ultimately it's been a Batman Superman team up book from the get go.
It has, and the thing I think the whole thing is, I think the reason why we see Batman, Superman up there and have is because of DC's we need to put that name on there law. Like even the last run of The Outsiders said Batman and The Outsiders on it. Batman was maybe in 2 issues.
Yeah.
But that whole run was called Batman and the Outsiders. Batman Detective Comics. I mean, they're just throwing that name on there to make sure that they can sell. I don't know that they believe it would sell as good if it was just called World's Finest to people that don't already know who World's Finest is. They walk into the LCS, see Batman, Superman on top, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, but this is the thing where that opens a discussion of cover art is 90% of the draw. Like you can have the title be descriptive, yes, but you can have a book called World's Finest, and you still have Batman and Superman represented on the cover on any given month, and it'll still draw people.
for sure.
right?
Like this amazing cover.
Yeah.
And god damn, I mean amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
And I mean, can I just draw attention to how phenomenal Dan Mora is with drawing, not just his ability, but also the subtleness of the things that he does in his art. If you pay attention to this art, this cover, Eclipso is there, bright, shiny, and center. And what is he doing? He's eclipsing Batman and Superman in the background.
Yep.
And that is fucking awesome. I mean, I know I know that's a nerd thing, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, as far
It's
as
honestly fucking fantastic.
oh, so good. As far as being super cool, what were the ones that you thought were the most cool today?
I know that was the next segment, but I was curious where you were going with that. Well, I can say, and fuck, yeah, okay. So I'll say number 3. My top 3 favorite moments. Number 3, I have Superman. Number 18. Number 2, I'll have Super Sun, the Absolute Power Super Sun. Number 1, and number 1 on my list of 3. I'll say Batman Superman World's Finest, number 31, with my standout moment from that issue, and that is the page where Dr. Gordon kind of draws Eclipso's attention, and you get. Let me pull up that page one more time because it was haunting. Eclipso just kind of looks up. It's like it's time. Like there's no dialogue on the page.
No, I know exactly what
Yeah.
you're saying. It's like Gutierrez drew it so that it looked like all you didn't even have to read the words. It just said, "Oh shit."
Yep. Yeah, it's when Dr. Gordon finds the Prometheum cell, and then it just cuts to the gem, and Eclipso looks up, and his eyes are glowing red, and it just zooms into his eyes, and you're like, well, he's fucked.
Yep. Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite moment.
Awesome. I'm going to throw in an honorable mention because Dead in America, there were a number of them that scored high from the honorable mentions, but Dead in America number 9, John Constantine, was flat out amazing. So that's getting into the top 3 honorably. But the normal show, number 3 is going to Absolute Power Super Son number 1. Number 2 is going to Batman Superman World's Finest number 31. And I have to give the first place to Catwoman number 68. My favorite moment, however, is going to come from World's Finest, just like Rob's did. I think I have to go with that half-page panel of the heroes looking at the eclipse from space. I thought it was just drawn so well, and it looked so cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't... They didn't try to make it flashy with extra brightness and, computer-enhanced graphics against what was going on. I think it was just classic art done right, man, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was, indeed. Well, wrestling, games, action figures, and comic books, I think that we have covered all that geeks can cover today. So thank you everybody out there for watching and or listening, depending on where you're doing it at. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel, even talking about wrestling, action figures, art museums. Who knows what's going to come out of our mouth? I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. But anyway, that is the show. So here we are. We're getting out of here, and you have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.